All right, so I'll continue. So, and I'll tell you where I'm going with this. I'm going into, without having no knowledge, what did I do? So I'll tell you. I started going to Chapters, which was a bookstore. And I started, and it was connected with Starbucks. So I could have a coffee and I could sit down and read. Now I started going there and I was reading magazines in the beginning. And they had really good magazines, new magazines. There were like muscle magazines, workout magazines, supplements. They had car magazines, muscle cars, exotic cars, tune-ups and mods. Those were like the main magazines that I was reading. And a couple of sports magazines here and there that I was reading. And that's how I started there. And then one day, I'm walking around, I'm looking at all the different books, and I find this section. It's called the self-development section. And I look at it and I go, self-development. And I start getting into it. Now, self-development section and all those books are basically unconventional. So it's meant to be education outside of university or college. So you get your own education and you do it your own way and you get your own tips and you do your own thing. That's basically what self-development is. Do I think that most of it was bullshit? Yes, most of it was bullshit, but it was still better than school. Why was it better than school? Because now I was in charge of my own development, and I basically, all it's really teaching you to do, or teaching me to do, was be a self-starter. And get into things myself, a self-motivator. You know what I mean? That's the beginning to me. That was my beginning to me, was getting into self-development. But I will tell you one thing. You know, people say, when a kid says, "Oh, Tommy rides a pocket bike, and I want to ride it too," and then what do the adults say to that kid typically? If Tommy jumped off the cliff, would you jump off the cliff? No. Well, then you should get on that pocket bike, right? That's typically the way it is. That's typically the way it is and the way it's set. It's always, would you jump off that cliff too? And that's why, even when there's stunts on TV, like there might be a stunt driver